And when I started, but the distress inside of wanting to know the secret of life, because everything we have in nature has a reason and has a purpose. Nothing is done just like that. Nature is very deterministic, very persistent, very precise. The more we learn about it and study it, we more and more see that it's like that. And there are things that we don't know. Maybe and there are things that we don't. It's not a matter of it doesn't exist, but it's just it's a blemish in our knowledge, in my study. And in a few years, maybe in another 10 years, maybe in another 100 years, or 1,000 years, but even that can be reached. Meaning there are no boundaries to the development of man. We'll get to reach the planets and to any place. We'll study all that there is. What's before our feet and what's above in the heavens. That's how I grew up. And that's why I came to the wisdom of Kabbalah with a truly materialistic question. What is life? What's the secret of life? For me, I went to study biocybernetics, which was my profession in the that I studied in the university, and I graduated and started to prepare myself towards a doctorate and more other things. And I saw that all of that was just a engagement with no benefit. And then all the strength to deal with it just disappeared from me. And that's it. And then I came to Israel. I immigrated to Israel. I did Aliyah. And here too, I started somewhat in the Weizmann Institute. Also, according to my profession, I saw that it is just destructive work, that you work there for hundreds of hours and with what? Once again, in the same technical matters, without studying and researching the secret of life, which was really important for me. Because nevertheless, where does this come from and where is it going? We're in the middle. We see here some fragment, very small fragment of the whole process. I want to know the whole process. And even beyond that. What's the reason that preceded it and what the result that it's going to come out of it. And then, a year and a half after I came, everyone said to me, with such questions, you need to go to the religious people. They know, they deal with those things. Go to there. I really went to the different factions there, to different trainings, and within a few months I saw that it's all limited, and it's all just in order to know what you should observe, and you just need to do that, and don't ask any more than that. And even if you just lower your head and just do and don't ask any questions, it's good. And by doing so, you're more devoted, more obedient, and devoted to doing His desire, like a servant. A servant is considered to do as the Creator has commanded on you to do. Now, if I weren't to continue onwards, I would leave completely. But what helped me was that I was amongst people in Rehovot, such people that and during those times there weren't many people who were doing tshuva, the repentance into orthodoxy, and I was really burning. And other than that, I really helped them. And then they did a certain meeting between them, and they asked what to do with such a case. And in Rehovot there was a Rav named Rav Führer. He was from Holland, and he said to them, "You need to find him someone who deal with some of the internality of the Torah." He said there are some souls, even though he wasn't like that, but there are souls that need it. And then they took me to Jerusalem, to Rav Zilberman. That was during that same time that Uri Zohar came to him and several others like him. And I studied there with him maybe for half a year. He would come to me to Rehovot also during that time. My son studied with him in the seminary, the Cheder, according to special education of Ramchal there. It was actually a very special place there. And I studied with him already. From him I heard, we studied the Savrat Tzniuta of the Agra, Kabbalah. Other than that, I studied in parallel the Babylonian Talmud, different things, little lighter things and more heavy things. Until the point where I saw that too is not sufficing. Because also him, he's saying, let's just be sufficient with this, let's be sufficient with that. And that's why I started to search onwards. At one point I was in Tel Aviv, and I went with my business travels to somewhere, and I saw a big notice, a big announcement, a study for the Wisdom Kabbalah, an institute. I immediately went there. I remember where it was. I went there. I came. I bought from them all the books, like actually, I filled my car with all the books that they had. And I signed up for the course. I went to one lecture, and that's it. More than that, I didn't go. I just told them, where is the manager? I wanted to talk to him. Well, they saw that I'm really serious, and they said, I'll be here and there, and come. So I came to that place. He was there. I don't remember what he was doing there, but because he would only come once in a while, and he'd also give a lesson. I spoke to him. I said, I wanted to study in a serious manner, not like here, with the guys and girls and all that. And, it's like a cup of coffee, and they're passing their time. It was in Bukrashov in Tel Aviv, and that's it. And he says, okay, come. And I started to come to him. I was with him. I'd come to him at 5 o'clock in the morning. I came to study with him, and I learned with him. But he took maybe 2 or 3 others, guys that were like teachers there in the institute. And we studied with them. And afterwards, I said, I want to study alone. So he said, okay. Let's say we studied Monday and Thursday with them, and you'll come Tuesday and Wednesday. So I would come to him at 5 o'clock in the morning and study. After, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3-4 times I was there with him, I saw that it's not Kabbalah. It's getting to know your face and your hand reading and the sun and all kinds of incarnations. It was something that was, I just feel it within, whether it's truth or not, whether it clothes on me or not. If it doesn't clothe me, I just can't enter into it. And it's like a certain very deep inner criticism in me, even stronger than me. And if that point doesn't agree, I can't do anything with it. Truly like that. I am under its control of this point. And I left. I said, I have a lot of work now, I have problems, and I left. And that's it. But from time to time, they'd invite me to a wedding there, to one of the teachers got married, and so on. And so, once every so many months, there was something going on there, and so it's really a wonder that I bought all the books of Baal HaSulam from him. And I didn't feel like thinking that he has students, that he has relatives, that I can find them. It's no problem in Israel. It's it's a small country. After all, you can find. I don't know. That was kind of disconnected from myself. But with that, I would study. In the evening, I found a friend, and we would study in the evening all these books. I don't know what exactly, how much we understood it, but we studied. And it was actually somehow attractive. Other than Baal HaSulam, we also studied other things, also the Ari and Ramak and Ramchal, and a little bit of Agra. And only one day I said to him, let's go travel, look in Bnei Brak for someone. How much can we sit here like this? And it's good for us. We're sitting at home, it's coffee, and it's nice, but in the evenings and studying. But we need someone to direct us. And we traveled to Bnei Brak. It was in the winter, rainy. I remember the weather was really bad, but we traveled there. And by incident there, we're asking them, where do we learn Kabbalah here? So one religious man like that with all his regalia says, you turn now left, and to the end of the road, that's where they learn Kabbalah. So we drove there, and that's when I found Rabash, the elder son of the firstborn son of Baal HaSulam. So I did a spin of maybe 3 years from 1975 to 1979 until I found him. And when I started to study there, immediately, the moment I sat down, and they started to explain to me what is written in those books that I was studying, well, it was the preface to the study of Kabbalah. That's what we started to learn. Immediately I started to feel, that point in my heart is coming down. That's why what I'm trying to say is, if a person has that inner demand, then he doesn't leave, and he won't sell it. And anyone who doesn't is basically operated from that same point, actually. Every one of us is searching for the essence or the meaning of life, but until he finds it in money, honor, knowledge, other things also, whatever there is. That's why from this point also a person looks at the Bible, where each sees in it what he wants. If he's studying, let's say, to be a lawyer, and then he looks in there and sees the rules, the laws. There are many rules and laws there. The whole Talmud is actually rules and laws. And they study a lot of it. Actually, lawyers like a lot to talk also in the language of the Bible, and yes, they like to quote. Yes, for them it's considered whoever studies history, that he takes from there something that suits him. But no one other than the Kabbalists, first of all, doesn't understand it, which is written, and doesn't agree with the whole book and with its whole depth and wholeness, and doesn't feel it, or feel that text or that book, and is not just calm with what is written, because you always can ask questions that, well, that's written. Well, I saw this kind of excuse and that excuse, but their excuses, not that with the text of the Bible, he flows with it, where he and the Bible are in some unity, some friendship, I would even say, an embrace, where the Bible lives in him. where he has no contradictions from the Bible, but that when he reads it, he understands, knows, feels, he tastes what it's called the Ta'amei Torah, the taste flavors of the Torah, and he tastes how it works. Such people are only the Kabbalists, and also it's those that invested much in their inner change, where they could overcome and rise above their earthly nature, and they themselves are the only ones that understand what the secret which is in the Bible.